Hello, Robotics Notes fans. Happy August 23rd. It is 8:07 in the morning. I'm basically on a normal sleep schedule now. Like, I woke up at like 5. Like, that's pretty close to normal. I went to bed at like 8 something p.m. and woke up at 5. I'm basically normal. We're gonna load the data for August 23rd, and maybe, just maybe, it'll be a bit longer than yesterday's episode. The phone's ringing. Also, the fan's still on. Sorry, guys. It's pretty hot out. We're coming out of summer in a little bit. You know, we're at the end of August. It's gonna be September soon. So hopefully the fan will be able to go away permanently shortly. I finally gotten to sleep, but now my brain's slowly rebooting itself. No, I don't want to wake up yet. It's summer break and way too early to be getting up. Don't even know what time it is. All I know is that it's definitely the morning. I was planning on sleeping until noon today since I haven't gotten to do that in a while. I fiddle with my phone droid at arm's reach and reject a call. The sound stops immediately. With this, I can go back to sleep. It's so loud. I grind my teeth and sit up. Looking at the clock, it's 10 in the morning. I was planning to sleep for 2 more hours. Is that a... He got a fight stick? Bro, you played phone games. Get out of here. I was planning on sleeping for 2 more hours. I pick up my phone droid as it continues to ring annoyingly. Good morning, Aki-chan. This isn't the time for good mornings. Have you looked at Tweepo yet? You literally just woke me up. So you skipped club yesterday and the day before and then did an all-nighter? Guess I made her angry. It's not like there was anything for me to do these last few days. She should just let this slide. Whatever, I'm headed to the hangar. You come too. Where are you right now? Still at home. Frau wants us all to gather at the hangar. She has something to show us. Frau asked for us? Has hell frozen over? I'm coming over now. Get ready. What? I just woke up. You've barged into my room when I had just woken up too. That's because you were on the verge of being late to school and you wouldn't wake up. Anyway, I'm coming over. Be ready in 5 minutes. God, she's pushy. What does Frau want to show us? Kamijima report number 3? But we haven't activated all the triggers. At the earliest, we can start looking for the report is at 4. So what could it be? This is the 3rd time I've been summoned by Frau. First was to help her move. Second was to help her with the cheater hunt. She's probably gonna make me do something again. I'm heading out. As soon as I exit my house, Akio is waiting for me outside. She's sitting against her scooter, looking at her phone droid. When I come outside, she raises her head and gives a little wave. Good morning. I got ready in 5 minutes. Must be nice being a boy. So what does Kona-chan want to show us? I have no idea. She suddenly posted about it on Tweepo an hour or so ago. Let's read these tweets. Oops. Ah! A millipede! Close the doors. How just die. Sorry, forgive me. Just leave. Ugh. Silent has too many bugs. It's not even funny. Whew. At everybody. Robot Club, please gather at the old airport. It was too easy. I have something I want to show. Oh, and it has nothing to do with the bugs, lol. Uh-huh. Huh? 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 I have no idea. She suddenly posted it on Tweepo an hour ago. After that, I haven't been able to get in touch with her at all. Good grief. I'd rather not get dragged all over by Frau's impulsive whims. Hey, Kai. Akio is still leaning against the scooter. She makes no attempts to move. She looks down, kicking at the ground with the tip of her foot. What's up? Where have you been these last few days? Sightseeing? Sightseeing? You're lying. Not really, in a way. What's the problem? Did you go to Uchugaoka Park? I didn't. And then Akio glances around and brings her face close to mine. About the monopole. Another one fell. Seriously? Akio nods intensely. I see. Akio, I'd caution you against going there too much. You never know when one will fall. If you got hit in the head, it'd be bad news. Hey, do you really think we can use those things on gun build too? Are you planning on processing it yourself? It might be explosive. It's too dangerous to just mess around with. I know, but if you're that insistent on using it, why not take it to Doc's place? Akio gently shakes her head with a sad expression on her face. I can't. I've been banned from the robot clinic. Excuse me? Did you make the old man angry? Yeah. I wonder what happened, but now's not the time to ask. I'd rather not get her started. Either way, I forbid you from working on these alone. Then what if we hand them over to JAXA and... Wait, I forgot, you're against doing that. Have you considered taking it to another workshop we dealt with before? Granted, I doubt there's going to be too many folks willing to look into potentially explosive material. Yeah, I'll think on it some more. Man, I was not expecting more monopoles. Dijine was right. If I just leave things as is, the situation's going to get complicated. I need to protect my little chunk of joy no matter what. At the old airport, Frau is setting up a strange device on the apron. Jenna had arrived earlier and she's helping. The device is about 20 centimeters wide and looks like a cylinder on its side. There are all kinds of sensors and cameras attached to it. There are 4 in total wired up to a phone droid. I thought it was Frau's phone droid at first, but it's actually Jenna's. The devices are on tripods, placed to face each other diagonally. The camera directions form a cross. They arrived this morning. RGB cameras with depth sensors, 4 in total. With this, we can do motion capture now. Got it. This is all we need to capture. You got it. You already got everything? Didn't you? When did you buy all of this? I ordered it online with a clickety-click. We're on a remote island, so I thought it would take longer, but I was wrong. How much did this stuff cost? All 4 cost a little over 50,000. She's loaded. I'd expect no less from someone capable of buying an old hotel on a whim. I guess Junchan is up to bat. Huh? Jenna opens her eyes wide. What's all this motion stuff you guys have been talking about? She's apparently been setting up this equipment without knowing what it's all used for. That reminds me, I didn't tell you. I was so busy with the Kamijima reports that I haven't seen Jenna for several days. Kona-chan said that even if she uses the KB system, it'd be difficult to reproduce the in-game animations. So it'd be better if we made unique motions for Model 2. Huh? Really? Nobody told me anything about this. There's the yawn, baby. I was planning to tell you eventually, but we didn't expect the mocap stuff to arrive so quickly. Plus, Model 2's blueprints aren't even done yet. Having just the mocap equipment doesn't actually amount to much. But now that I think about it, it would be tough to reproduce KV's animations in real life. So, the former Karate Club ace is our mocap actress. Perfect for the gig either way. Hold on. Sorry. Gotta do something. Gomen. Gomen-nasai. So the former Karate Club ace is... Alright, I read that. Huh? What do I have to do? Test. Frau whispers. Test? To see if the machine works right. She's saying we're gonna hold a test now. Frau nods at my words and beckons Jenna over. Jenna looks puzzled, but does as told and stands in the center of the 4 cameras. As long as you move within that space, you're okay. I'll be sneaking photos of your moves from all angles, Karate-senpai. Sneaking photos? I won't miss a single movement or angle, no matter what. Why is she getting so intense? Frau Bo, don't tease Jun so much. Look, she's about to cry. You're an underclassman, so try to be a little more respectful. I wouldn't mind licking Karate-senpai up and down. Yep, you're a perf. I want to go home. Sorry, not happening. You're the only one who can handle the mocap. Nobody else in the club can move their body with any kind of grace. Agreed. Jin is perfect for the job. But... Jin draws closer to Akiho and squirms, her face totally red. I'm scared of big robots. Didn't you say you were scared of life-size robots? Do the giant ones freak you out now too? Jenna nods apologetically. When I saw Model 1 Kun's test the other day, it was so big and it looked like it could fall on me. I was scared. That's why I don't think I'm fit to do Model 2's mocap. I really don't want to be the sub-operator. But think of it this way. You're only filming its movement. You're not actually piloting the robot. Back during Robo 1, you helped me think up an ultimate attack, remember? The only reason that came to be is because you know karate. The way you move is totally different from us. Your movements are super sharp. They got heart. I personally think we'll be better off filming your sharp moves versus our limp flailing. So pretty please, Jun. Akio puts her hands together, and in the end, Juno nods meekly while still hanging her head. I'll try my best. Really? Thank you so much. She's as weak to pressure as always. Alright, the rest is up to you guys. And where do you think you're going? I grab Frau by the shoulders before she could scurry off. You're the one who suggested we do the test now, Kona-chan. Ugh, the sun, it's so bright. She looks like she's about to melt away. Is this because I dragged her around to find the Kamijima reports over the last few days? You're like a zombie or a vampire. I swear, you can't function during the day. Tropical sunlight is like a death ray, SMH. How could any of you live normally in a place like this? How tough are you all? Fraubo, you have to at least explain how all this equipment works. There really isn't anything to explain. You just have to move in the middle of the cameras. Press the record button on the phone droid wired to the cameras, and you're okay to go. Simple enough. Jin-chan, how about giving it a little test? Let's see how it works. Wait, now? I'm not ready. My clothes are... Don't worry, it's no big deal. Jenna insists on changing clothes as tears form in her eyes. She's too embarrassed to perform in a skirt. Ironic, since I saw her practicing in the gym in her uniform before. Frau had to bring her G with her. Is it a G or a Gi? I'll switch between them. It takes her less than 5 minutes to change. I look at Jenna's phone droid wired to the cameras and see her on the screen. That said, the image output is totally different from when you capture someone on the screen normally. There are 3 images, and each one is a silhouette of Jenna colored red, blue, and green. There's a screen swap button that swaps the feed between cam 1 to 4 at will. All cams record at once. Alright, let's have you start with a kata. The Super Han Pen, right? Supreme Pay. Just ignore the cameras and focus on moving. Okay. Jenna looks embarrassed, but nonetheless bows before beginning her kata. I press the record button and film her from start to finish. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen her perform a few times now, but every time I can't help but think about how weak she looks. About a minute or two into her performance, she stops moving. Her expression hardens as she has tears in her eyes. Her gaze is focused on the camera right in front of her. Jun, what's wrong? I got self-conscious of the cameras. Everything went white. Eh? Yikes. Her poor mental strength is out in full force. I mean, sure, there are cameras, but it's not like they're broadcasting to TVs or the internet. Sorry. Jenna drops her shoulders and stops the performance. Well, you can take your time getting used to it. Hey, Frabo, can we look over what she just performed? Yeah. Frau swipes the screen and the video player console appears at the bottom with play, rewind, and fast forward buttons. She presses rewind, allowing us to view what we just recorded. We try replaying it. Jen is so colorful. Thank goodness, you can't see my face. Akio and Junna are also watching the video. The footage appears to have accurately captured Junna's movements. Since it records from all sides, it can actually recognize three-dimensional movement. We can use this to create different motions, then implement them into the system. Bye. Frau attempts to bail yet again, but I stop her. I want to go home. Frau weakly clings to Junna's shoulders like she has anemia or something. Kojiro-san, are you okay? There's only one way to fix me. I have to read a thin book about Yashio-senpai in 4 eyes. Too easy. Not a single one of us know what she means by thin book, so all we can do is pretend we aren't listening. You said we can create different motions, yeah? But Model 2's blueprints aren't done yet. How are we supposed to make progress? Just do some mocap after the blueprints are done, duh. Remind me of what the point of urgently gathering everyone here today was. I knew I should have stayed in bed. I'm hungry. Guess I'll go grab a bite at a lunch joint or something. By the time I eat lunch and return to the hangar, Frau has vanished. Guess she really went home. It's noon right now. I need to head to Chikura Cavern soon, but I'm probably not going to be able to take Frau with me this time. To be perfectly honest, she hasn't been much help with these last 2 days, so it don't make much of a difference. Kai! Akio comes running over. I'm gonna head to Kamada Motors for a bit. Kamada Motors is a local workshop in Nakatane-cho. It's in the neighborhood, so the Robot Club goes to them for help once in a while. Not nearly as much as the Robot Clinic, though. For what? To talk to them about Gun Build 1's motor. Huh? Akio's still attached to Model 1. I'm not that surprised. She did say she was going to keep working at it. Since she's banned from the Robot Clinic, she's trying to get help from other workshops, I suppose. Watch over Jun for me. She can be a little too serious at times. She's been continuing the mocap test by herself since that first test run. That would mean it's been about an hour. That's quite a while. Sorry, I wanted to watch over her myself, but I can't right now. Well, it's not like I have the time to spare either. Jenna wears a serious expression on her face as she thrusts her fist forward, surrounded by mocap cameras. She's not actually performing a kata so much as she's doing basic karate training. The blazing sun is out in full force, so her forehead is covered in beads of sweat. The phrase single-minded comes to mind. She was so focused on the cameras before that she couldn't even move. She's clearly over that now. Actually, I didn't know Juna was even capable of looking like that. She looks way cooler, even gallant when she was actually performing earlier. If she could be like this consistently, she'd have no problem at tournaments. But since she's already retired, I guess none of that matters anymore. Just means that in the end, her mental strength wasn't enough. I doubt she was able to ever show her true skills in front of all those people. That kind of mental weakness is a lethal flaw. A lethal flaw for an athlete. Every time you participate in a match, there will always be your opponent or a judge. Always someone watching. In some ways, it might be better to leave Juna alone while she does mocap. That way nobody can get in her way. To test this theory out, I intentionally make a noise as I approach her. Duh! Juna freezes in place the moment she spots me. She looks at me and forces out a smile. Feel free to continue. Okay. At my urging, she goes back to her practice. But it's obvious from her movements that things have changed since I got here. She's weak-kneed. There's no snap to her punches. Most of all, that coolness she had earlier is long gone. In its place, she looks like she's about to cry. Her gaze is unfocused and she keeps glancing at me. She really can't deal with the pressure. Are you used to the cameras yet? Well, sorta. You were doing incredibly well up until you noticed me. Huh? Was I? Really? You weren't aware? I think I am. Maybe. Ever since you came over here, I felt embarrassed and nervous. I don't really want to be watched. Don't get me wrong, it's not just you, Yashio-kun. It doesn't matter who it is. But you're able to... What happened there? But you're able to concentrate when you're by yourself, right? Yeah. Maybe it'd be for the best if we just leave the whole mocap thing to you. That'd be a problem. I can't do anything by myself. But if you keep this up, you're just gonna become the club member who does whatever they're told to do. Huh? Look, if this is just a temporary place for you to rest until you find your next dream, that's fine. I know you don't know much about robots and all, but it isn't any fun just doing what you're told to. Not that I have any right to lecture you about this, but to make Aki-chan's dream come true, you, Subaru, and Kona-chan are all important pieces to that puzzle. Especially when it comes to mocap. The performer has to be someone who knows how to move their body. So I want you to give it everything you've got, Jun-chan. Yashio-kun. Juna gets teary-eyed like she's been deeply moved. I'm, super happy to hear you say that. I'll work harder so I don't hold everyone back. That a girl. Anyway, I have stuff to take care of today, so I'm heading back. Ah! The rest is on you. Aki-chan should be back in a bit, so you'll be alone till then. Alone? Juna is dumbfounded. I leave her on her own and jog over to the terminal. Now then, it's time for 3 hours of pain and suffering. I'm reluctant to do it, but if I quit now, the last 2 days will have been for nothing. Just as I sit on my scooter, someone comes over riding a bike. Ah, Yashio-kun. Tenoji-san is wearing her Jackson uniform as usual. She must have cycled from TNSC while wearing it again. Hiya. She returns my greeting with a big smile. Hello. So, any progress on Model 2? Ask Subaru-kun. We're all just waiting on his blueprints for now. By the way, your shirt's soaked in sweat. I can see right through it. Hey, stop staring at me like that, you big perv. Tenoji-san Riley smiles as she covers her chest with her arms. Oh, you're not angry. Well, it's not like they're going anywhere, right? Hee-ho! Are all women from Tokyo like this? Frau's also a perv. No, these two have got to be exceptions to the rule. I do want to wear something a little more casual, though. This place is crazy hot because of how far south it is. I'm always sweating. Sounds rough. If you came to talk, sorry, but only Junchan's here right now. And you shouldn't bother her too much. Wait, are you going somewhere? Pretty much. Oh, is it a date? You could call it that. I'm going deep into a cave to have a secret tryst with a ghost girl only visible through Idaro. Alright, take care. I wave to Tanoji-san and head off on my scooter. The waves are starting to approach my feet. The last 3 days have been exactly the same. As it gets closer to the evening, the water starts creeping inward. By the end, it's up to my ankles. I'm not going to get washed away or anything, but the inside of the cave is chilly, making the seawater feel colder. Plus, since I can't move from where I am, an unexpected amount of my body heat gets sapped away. I look at the clock on my phone droid. I've got about a minute before I hit 4. I've been looking at the clock over and over. Over and over for the last 30 minutes. It's annoying how once I'm conscious of the time, it feels like the clock stops moving. But if I didn't check it, I can't help but get insanely curious about what time it is. Want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible. Want to be done with this for good. The more time passes, the stronger that feeling gets. Am I really going to hang in there for 3 hours? Maybe this is supposed to be a test of willpower. Spent a total of 9 hours across 3 days in this cave, and the only people I've seen were a young couple. The pair, likely in their 20s or so, saw that someone else was here and awkwardly fled. It's the middle of summer, and yet no tourists have visited the island's biggest tourism spot. I'm conflicted. It's just a reminder of how far our island has fallen. I get it. With no rocket launches as of late, why would anyone come here over Yukushima, the World Heritage Site? It's not like me feeling bad is gonna fix anything. Big bro, it's 4! I hear Irie's voice coming from my phone droid. She's right. Time on the clock reads 4. Has the trigger been activated? Yep. You're done. Good job, big bro. Hey, I got praised. Bitter smile on my face, I finally exit the cave. I kick off my sandals and walk barefoot on the warm sand. It feels great. Just want to lie down and roll around for a bit. Sand would get everywhere, so that's a hard pass. Now then. Take a breath and whip my phone droid out. Irie-chan, let me tap you. Okay. Irie appears on screen on her own. I tap her on the face and she immediately turns into Gejine. Access confirmed. Switching to Gejine mode. I've activated all the triggers for report number 3, yeah? Correct. All triggers have been activated. Kamijima report number 3's AR annotation should now be visible. Much obliged. So, where do you think it is? Unknown. Despite making it visible, Gejine has no way of locating where it is, eh? The triggers were concentrated in this area, so the report should be somewhere around here too. Guess I'll start with the obvious spots. Kamijima report AR annotation is the classic power mark. I gotta find it. Guess I'll use the little map to pick out potential spots. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. Come on. Come on. There we go. User access approval confirmed. Downloading. I found it. Knew it'd be here. Report number 3 has been downloaded. You can read it in the viewer at any time. What a real pain. Report number 2 wouldn't have been so bad if it weren't for the typhoon's timing. That was the major issue. But the triggers for this report were both time-consuming and a pain. Apparently there are 7 reports in total. Wonder what other triggers are going to be like. They might break me. Either way, it's time to take a look at this thing. It's still fresh in my mind that on February 1st, 2012, the President of the United States announced the end of the Constellation project. His statement contained the following information. The budget saved from ending the Constellation program will increase the funding to robot-led space exploration missions. Furthermore, it will support manned rocket development by private enterprise, as well as fund development of the next generation of engines that will send astronauts beyond low Earth orbit into deep space. That is what was said to the public. However, only few know that it's all in preparation for Project Adam. Project Adam is led by the Tavistock Institute, operating under the Committee of 300, agreed upon as Plan Number 114 in the Human Ranch Project. After Project Noah ended in failure in 2009, this project was seen as a similarly promising venture by the Committee of 300. Specifically, it would directly interfere with the sun as its period of maximum activity, artificially create a solar corona, then release it as a solar magnetic storm. The resulting solar disturbance would be the largest in history. Expected damage would be the annihilation of roughly half the human population, with massive changes to the global environment, further increasing the number of dead. The goal is to kill off 5 billion people. The project was based off NASA research predicting that the sun would enter a period of maximum activity for 10 years starting in 2012. Tavistock knew in 2016 and began their propaganda preparations. NASA's research was purposely leaked to the world, and in 2009, a Hollywood movie that pictured the world's destruction in 2012 was created. At the same time, the Committee of 300 learned from a report by NASA's Interstellar Boundary Explorer that the reason for the sun's increased activity was the influence of an interstellar-sized energy ribbon, cosmic string, drawing close to the solar system. Project Adam was further adjusted. They moved to execute the plan in 2015. However, the execution of Project Adam caused mass chaos around the world. Wealthy people connected to the Committee of 300 would be given refuge in shelters either on the moon or deep underground. Reaching the moon would not be done by launching rockets from Earth, but by constructing a space elevator with carbon nanotubes, then flying to the moon from geosynchronous orbit. However, due to the low prospect of completion by 2015, the construction of underground shelters is currently the most realistic option. For several years after 2015, human habitation on the surface would be difficult to impossible due to the environmental changes. The only planned activity on the surface would be by livestock, humans included, and the autonomous robots that will manage them. Project Mars is running concurrently with Project Adam. We'll have companies around the world under the Committee of 300's influence develop and build robots by 2012. This explosive technological progress will make autonomous life-size robots mainstream by 2015. Research on giant robots for military use will also begin. Project Mars will be explained another time. For now, know that no-name companies in 2009 that become top global corporations by 2015 will all be connected directly to the Committee of 300. Japan's Exoskeleton, America's US Robocom, and the United Kingdom's Liverpool Tech are companies that should be watched diligently. The amount of information here is dizzying, but still, there's one name that stands out to me. The Exoskeleton Company. I never expected to see that name show up in a conspiracy theory from a decade ago. Is this just a coincidence? Is it unavoidable? Forget all of this. I end up reading too much into her words. I desperately want all this to be a coincidence. I mean, Misane only joined Skibble 2 years ago. She has nothing to do with the company at the time this report was written. And she's not even part of the top brass. She's just a test pilot and a PR girl. And what the heck was that call about? Forget the Kamijima reports. You mustn't search for them anymore. What exactly did she mean? Not to mention, Misane apparently knew Kamijima. Hey, Airi-chan? Yes? Would you like to hear the weather report? No, you said you were friends with Misane, right? Yes, but not Misane. Misaki. Did Misane and Kamijima ever meet in person and talk? They did, but Misaki mostly spent her time talking to me, not Master. Misaki was my first friend after all. Our Master didn't talk much with people. What did Misane and Kamijima talk about? Misaki would ask Master questions once in a while. Maybe she was interested in him? What kinds of questions? About my functions, about Iruro, about Tokyo? Also, if he was married, whether or not he liked living on Tanegashima or not. That's about it. It's all just small talk. But I mean, that's normal, right? Misane was only a high schooler at the time. Kamijima was the amazing guy from Tokyo who made Airi and Iruro. It'd be odd if Misane wasn't interested. Did they seem close? I was closer to her than he was. She spent more time talking to me overall. It almost sounds like Airi is competing with her master or something. Look at that face. Or maybe that's just how important her relationship with Misane was, especially as her first friend. Did you ever hear them argue? Argue? Nope. If that happened, I'd be sad. Is she really remembering things correctly? Airi's an AI. Unlike humans, her past experiences don't grow hazy over time. It's all stored server-side, supposedly. No idea how she works. Do you have any images of your master stored somewhere? I'd like to take a look, if possible. Nope. Wait, really? Not a single one? Nope. Airi answers with a smile. Master used me and Gejine to thoroughly erase all of those images. That's why there are none. Kamijima erased them himself. Because he was pursued by the Committee of 300? Because he didn't want anyone to recognize his face? Is there any way to pull an image out from your memories? Nope, there isn't. Airi shakes her head, looking like she wants to say, that's outrageous. I have no function like that. I see. But I'm curious about Misane. I get the feeling if I search for more Kamijima reports, I'll learn something that I'll regret ever knowing. If you get involved any further, you'll regret it. I really am starting to regret it, Misane. There's a side of you unknown to me attached to these reports. I just hope I'm overthinking things. Airi-chan, there are 7 Kamijima reports, right? Could you tell me what the remaining triggers are? Hiccup. Okay. Please switch me over to Gejine. It's a real pain to have to do this every time. Ugh, no point in pushing back. I tap on Airi's face. Eek! Access confirmed. Switching to Gejine mode. Hello, Yashio-san. Allow me to give you information pertaining to Kamijima Report number 4. Unfortunately, trigger information for number 5 has been locked because you haven't yet obtained report number 4. Seriously? Yes. I guess I gotta do this in order. Sure made this thing a huge pain, Kamijima. Exact location of report number 4's AR annotation is currently unknown. Downloading unlock conditions, triggers to make the AR annotation visible. Complete. I will now explain the triggers for report number 4. 1. Locate comedian report number 3. Note from Gejine, trigger 1 has already been activated. 2. Upload photographs of rocket launches from 4 suggested viewing points on Tanegashima to Iruro. 4 suggested viewing points are as follows: Hayes Park, Uchigaoka Park, Nanai Rozaka Viewing Platform, and Takasaki Observatory. 3. Activate Gojiro-kun stored at the Robot Clinic. 4. Test fire a geotag matchlock at least once. That is all. Give me a break. Not only are these becoming more of the pain in the ass, some of them aren't even possible. There hasn't been a rocket launch on this island in 4 years. Who the hell is Gojiro-kun? Sure as hell don't know him. Nobody would ever let me fire a matchlock gun, it's dangerous. We've hit very hard on the difficulty scale. I'm already feeling bummed out. I was planning on collecting all 7 reports, but now I guess I'm gonna have to think long and hard about how I can make this happen. I decided to head home for the day, completely discouraged. 24th? Okay, god damn it. Geo! Put the daily record at the top of the thing! The first thing that happens that day should be the first thing in the daily record. Thank you all for watching another episode of Robotics Notes Like Animal Crossing. I will see you all tomorrow for another episode of Robotics Notes Like Animal Crossing, where we will be loading from the load screen, not the day screen, because goddamn Geo! 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 But speaking of Geo, no Geo!